Enthusiasts, and welcome to our exclusive highlight reel featuring the legendary Frank Zane, a three-time Mr. Olympia winner who redefined the aesthetics of bodybuilding. Today, we dive deep into the legacy of the man who not only beat Arnold Schwarzenegger, but also left an indelible mark on the sport. Stay tuned as we unveil the journey, philosophy, and wisdom of Frank Zane in our special feature. In this special feature, we're exploring the illustrious career of Frank Zane, touching on his early days, iconic victories, and the evolution of his training philosophies. From his face-off with Arnold to his views on modern bodybuilding and life after retirement, this exclusive highlight reel is your window into the life of a bodybuilding icon. Frank Zane's journey into bodybuilding began in the tough streets of Pennsylvania, where his early encounters with fitness transformed him from a target of bullies to an admired athlete. With a natural affinity for the sport, Zane quickly made a name for himself, capturing the attention of the legendary Bob Hoffman of the York Barbell Club.
And where did you get that base set of knowledge? Because I would say you took a very different approach to where bodybuilding was at that time. So where did you go to gather that base information for training, supplements, dieting?
I grew up in Pennsylvania, and basically the York Barbell Club and Bob Hoffman were, the main people involved with that. And so it was all AAU oriented. And I competed in one event, Teenage Mr. America, and I think I got third. And Hoffman was impressed with me, and he gave me a nice compliment. He said, "Young man, if I had a physique like yours, I'd walk around with my shirt off all the time." So when you're 18 and you hear something like that, it's impressive. So I just stuck with it because I liked it, and I continued to do it.
Known as the father of aesthetics, Zane's revolutionary approach to bodybuilding focused on symmetry, proportion, and the fine art of sculpting the perfect physique. Training at the renowned Gold's Gym in Venice, California, alongside giants like Arnold Schwarzenegger, Zane honed his craft, embodying the very essence of what it meant to be a bodybuilder in the golden era.
So obviously we mentioned, father of aesthetics, and your style and approach to training was, I would say, I don't want to say, different is not the right word, but definitely revolutionary, right? In the way you approached it. How did your training style come about? Where what specific things you were working on that you thought to be the best?
I just did what everybody else did in the gym.
Yeah.
That was it. There's only so many things you could do. And especially when I was in, training at Gold's Gym in Venice, California, I did what everybody else did. I used the machines, I did the free weight stuff, and, the result I got was what I looked like.
Yeah. Yeah. I love the Gold's Gym reference. When I lived here in LA for 6 years, I always work out there, and I'd see Michael Hearn with his dogs, and Charles Glass, legendary trainers.
One of the pivotal moments in Zane's career was his victory over Arnold Schwarzenegger in the 1968 Mr. Universe. This victory not only marked him as one of the elite few to defeat Arnold, but also established his dominance in the sport, propelling him to international fame.
Now, obviously, you're famous for competing and beating Arnold in the Mr. Universe 1968, and it was famous because you left him crying at the event. Can you go into what that moment was like?
Well, I was in great shape for that. I just won Mr. America the week before, and I didn't even want to compete in that event because I wanted to save it for the following year. And I was living in Florida, training there, and they talked me into competing, and the contest was in Miami, and all the judges were experienced bodybuilders. And Arnold wasn't really in his best shape. He got into a lot better shape than he was there. And, I beat him. I think he took it rather hard and personal. And Joe Eater picked them up, moved them to California, and set them up with the apartment and salary, and that's all I did was work out. I landed in Southern California a couple of months after that, and I worked at. We became friends. We worked out together.
Okay. That was
We're
exactly
still
my
close.
next question. Have you guys trained together? What's your relationship like after that event?
Well, for a while we did, but that's been about 6 years ago. So I live near San Diego. I don't get up to Los Angeles very much. So those guys are training in LA, in Venice. So I really don't get there very much, if at all.
Mm.
I have my own
Now,
private gym
okay.
my own private gym that I train in, so it's all suited to me.
Zane's meticulous approach extended to his diet and training regimen. He emphasized the importance of amino acids, disciplined workouts, and a balanced approach to nutrition. His methodical nature, deeply rooted in his background as a mathematics teacher, allowed him to refine his physique to perfection.
Now, you've spoken a lot of how simplistic your approach was, right? And like focusing on the important movements. Can you give us, I would say, like the 5 must-do exercises when you're training now, especially with if you're training for bodybuilding? Like, what are those 5 where it's like, I'm always going to do these. You don't need to do much more than this.
I can't say that.
No?
There's not 5. I mean, I had a routine. I had a program that I always did. Basically my routine was pulling muscles day 1. That's back, biceps, and forearms. Legs day 2. Calves, thighs. And day 3, chest, shoulder, triceps. I did 3 to 4 movements for each body part. And whatever I did was basically related to what equipment I had to do it with.
And I know you were a huge proponent of training abs and core. I feel like that's kind of neglected now in mainstream training.
I did a lot of ab work.
Yeah.
I would work up to about 1,000 reps on abs every day when I was training abs.
Really? 1,000 reps on in totality? Like what? Like body weight movements, weighted?
Well, Roman chair sit up. I wouldn't use any weight on that. Roman chair sit up, leg raises, hanging knee ups, seated twist, totaling up to 1,000.
God, that's insane. I feel like nobody's doing that right now. I feel like some of the things you're saying that are like you were subscribing to, and then that's kind of what led to like the difference in like I feel like getting away from aesthetics.
Could be.
And now, like supplements, are you still taking supplements right now? Like, what were kind of your essentials when you were lifting? Like, especially when it comes to recovery, just growth. Like, any key ones you would always go to?
The main thing I've always taken is amino acids in free form. I take one called Super Sports, put out by Monteith. And it's basically 16 amino acids in free form. And, I take anywhere from 9 to 20 a day. And I took a lot more than that when I was competing.
Retiring from competitive bodybuilding didn't end Zane's influence on the sport. Through his books and training programs, he continues to educate and inspire generations of bodybuilders. His emphasis on aesthetics over sheer size has led to the resurgence of the classic physique in modern bodybuilding.
Is it possible now to compete in these sports without like risking your health and honestly like your lives, your longevity? Like, how are you seeing that?
I don't know because I'm not involved in it. It would seem so, but I think there's a way to do anything. If I were doing it to win, I certainly wouldn't go off the deep end taking drugs.
Yeah.
My approach would be pretty much a natural approach, taking vitamins, minerals, and especially free-form amino acids.
Okay. And like on that, what are the most common mistakes that you think like young bodybuilders are making? Like what are some of kind of the pitfalls you would say you got to avoid when starting out?
Well, take your time and do a good job. It doesn't happen
Yeah.
overnight. Follow some good advice. I put out material because, I'm an educator, so I've put out material that people can follow. Like I have one book that's very useful for people, 91 Day Wonder Body. Basically, this book tells
Nice.
you what to do every day for 3 months or 91 days. So it takes the guesswork out of it. And then I have, it's like a workbook. Then I have more of a textbook, a manual called the Zane Bodybuilding Manual, 436 pages of everything I know about bodybuilding. So one textbook and one workbook, and that covers everything. And so I think if you follow those, and then I have a workout DVD too, called Train with Zane, which I've had out for quite some time, showing you the movements.
Outside the gym, Zane is a Renaissance man, with interests ranging from psychology to music. His dedication to meditation and mindfulness reflects the depth of his character, showing that Frank Zane is not just a bodybuilding legend, but a holistic icon of health and wellness.
I was going to say, I know you're a big musician. You play a lot of instruments. Any favorite one that you like the most, or any specific musical taste that is your favorite?
I play harmonica. That's my main instrument.
Okay.
I've been playing that for a while. Harmonica and chromatic harmonica. I also play a little bit of guitar. I'm not that great of a guitar player. My favorite player is Steve Vai, who's also a friend of mine.
Okay.
And I also make bamboo flutes and play those.
Oh, nice.
Frank Zane's legacy is a testament to the power of dedication, discipline, and a mindful approach to life. As we've explored his journey, insights, and philosophies, it's clear that his impact on the world of bodybuilding and beyond is both profound and enduring. Thank you for joining us on this extraordinary journey through the life and legacy of Frank Zane. Like, share, and subscribe for more content. Until next time, keep pushing your limits and sculpting your legacy.